What's up everyone? Today we have something pretty cool with us.
오늘은 무슨 일이야? 우리는 꽤 멋진 것을 가지고 있습니다.
So language is a huge barrier to overcome. When it comes to people's translation needs, there are a few ways to go about it, but today with us we have a new solution that goes by the name of the Langogo Summit Pro. This device is marketed as the all-in-one, one-stop shop for translation, so let's find out how well it actually works. This is running a customized version of Android. It's got a 4-inch touchscreen for navigating everything that comes with a pre-installed plastic screen protector, an 8-megapixel camera on the back, 4 omnidirectional microphones, and a speaker at the top and bottom of the device. One of the main features is the instant speech translation. Along with all the other features, you can launch it from the nice home screen, or you can hold down the dedicated translate button on the right side of the device. This is next to the volume up and down buttons, as well as the little slider for turning the screen on and off. All you have to do is hold it down, start speaking, and then release when you're done. It'll translate into whatever language you have selected. You pick the 2 languages being used in the conversation, and what's nice is you don't have to choose the language that's being spoken each time. So you can just set the 2 languages, and the Summit Pro will figure out which language is being spoken and translate it into the other. You can also scroll back up to see previous translations. The Summit Pro can translate 104 different languages, so you have a very wide selection. This is very cool and all, but how accurate are the translations really, and how well does it function? Langogo claims that they are using 26 different domain-specific translation engines to end up with their results, like Google, Microsoft, GTCom, etc. As far as accuracy of understanding what you're saying, it's really good. Almost all the time, as long as you're at a decent volume and not too far from the device, it's going to correctly recognize what you're saying. For accuracy of translations, as far as I can tell, it's great. I speak some Japanese and it was all coming out well, and I checked with someone who also speaks Spanish and they said it was mostly accurate. Like all other electronic methods of translation, you're going to get some translations where it just comes out close, like the meaning is mostly the same, but it just sounds a bit weird. Like saying, I dyed my hair pink, and then it just comes out as my hair was made to be pink. Stuff like that. I would say it is reliable though.
あなたの何が食べたいですか?
What do you want to eat?
Also, I should mention that you do need an internet connection for any of these features to work. You can connect to Wi-Fi, but a lot of people's use cases for this would be where there isn't any of that available. So you will most likely need an eSIM or a normal SIM card with a monthly plan. You can get one that works in 60 plus countries for $4 a month, which is pretty good, and that will give you 2 gigs of translation. There's also a hotspot plan, which costs more, but you can use this thing as a hotspot for another device like your phone if you really need to. It would be cool if you could translate offline and have like the files and processing going on within the device, but maybe that's a few more years in the future, as Google Translate on your phone can't do it with the voice translation, but can with text. Another paid plan pops up when you try to use the intelligent recording mode, interpreter mode, or speech translation mode. Now you get 1 free year, and all you have to do is sign up for a Noda account and then link it. Easy. After that year, though, you will have to pay $96 a year. If you get the device during the Kickstarter, you'll pay around $300, which I feel is fine. It's got quality construction and works as intended, but having to pay a little under $100 every year after the first feels a little wrong, even though spread out over a whole year, it's barely anything per month. You can check your recordings on another device with it, but still. Also, the non-Kickstarter price is going to be $500? There is no way this thing is worth a whole $500. These are all functions that you can do on your phone with various apps. The upside of this is that it's sometimes a little more convenient and gets you results faster as it's a dedicated device. We'll see if they keep that $500 tag after the Kickstarter though. I'm not sure about that. If we move on to the rest of the modes with the intelligent recording, you can record something in a longer format like a speech or conversation, and it'll turn all the speech into text, and you can even listen to that recording. With interpreter mode, you can have a live conversation with someone, and the device gives live translations for both languages. The speech detection seems to be a little worse than the other modes, but it's still something that could be super useful for conversations that are going to end up lasting longer than just a few words.
So with this, you could pretty much just have a live conversation with people. You don't really have to push the button at all, just start talking in one of the 2 languages.
There's also speech translation mode, which is basically intelligent recording mode, but it translates the recording. I think these two modes could have been easily and effectively merged. Nevertheless, it's still useful. With the photo translation mode, that camera comes into play, letting you translate things like signs, menus, any written stuff. It takes a little longer than Google Translate to do the same thing, but it works most of the time and is yet another impactful feature, which I think adds a lot of value. And finally, there's idea notes, which is like a checklist or random notes that you want to get down quickly and then can check off later. Going through all the remaining things, the battery life and standby are okay. You get around 5 hours of screen on time. You'd think it'd be a bit longer looking at the thickness of the device as well as how simple the OS is. To get it back to full battery, that'll take about 2.5 hours. It weighs 164 grams, so it's got some weight to it and is sturdily built. I think it has the perfect screen size for something like this, big enough to easily see, but it doesn't take up too much space. Here's it compared to my iPhone 11 Pro Max. The speakers are plenty loud. The home screen is clean and easy to use, although I don't know the point of it being able to slide up and down like that. You can set a lock screen if you want to, with a password. When you translate certain things like where is insert place, sometimes it'll have a pop-up that shows nearby places like that, so that could be useful. I do wish there was an option though to change the time to a 12-hour format instead of the default 24, and after using the power switch a lot, I feel like a nice button would be better. Overall, the Summit Pro has some great translating capabilities that don't go really beyond too much what your phone can do with a collection of apps, but offers everything in one place, has more microphones to pick up speech better, makes it more convenient as you can just pull it out of your pocket, hit the button and start talking, and is going to give you a little faster results. The main one-at-a-time translation mode works great. You can translate images. The multi-country eSIM plan is pretty cheap. You can also use it as a general recorder for stuff, but I'm not the biggest fan of the way things are being priced out. I'd say there are overwhelmingly more highs than lows, as this device is pretty cool. If you're going on one trip to a foreign country, your phone will be more than sufficient, but if you've got some money and you're a frequent traveler, this might be of some use to you, and those are the people I think this is really aimed at. Thanks for watching. The link to the Summit Pro is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe for more upcoming videos, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.